And of course, in the meantime, while we're waiting for Jude Bellingham to come up to Real Madrid or just go the other way to Liverpool or Manchester City, what we know so far is once he becomes a Real Madrid player, according to Relevo, he will wipe out these three players. And let me tell you something. He has very, he's very right. He's very right because this thing can happen. I mean, if Bellingham arrives, it is difficult to see. It's going to be really difficult to see again Toni Kroos, Luka Modric, and Ceballos. I mean, the problem with this is you already have to Camavinga, which is supposed to get back to the midfield, number one. Tchouaméni, number two. And then Jude Bellingham, he's not coming to sit down on the bench, right? So we will have three great midfielders on the field displayed, and the three midfielders we already have, Kroos, Modric, and of course Ceballos, will be probably wiped out by this guy. Why? Because Kroos and Modric, I don't have to tell you, I don't have to explain why these guys will spend less and less time on the field as of today. Why? Because they're getting older, and that is the thing. My biggest concern though is Ceballos. Why? Because this guy is a super young player, super talented player, and although he didn't play really good like the rest of the players the other day against Mallorca, this guy, in my opinion, has a bright future as a Real Madrid player. However, if Bellingham shows up, if Tchouaméni and Camavinga will come back to the midfield, it's going to be problematic for them. It's going to be problematic for him as well to continue in Real Madrid just because he doesn't want to sit down again in Real Madrid. So, in spite of all the cheering and all the hype that we have had with Ceballos over the last 3-4 games because he was one of the best players, I don't think he's quite sure about staying in Real Madrid because he already knows what happens in this situation, right? When you already have players signed in by the club, is because the club trusts more in them, versus you. So that's why he's probably thinking still about his future. Because although I think that he really wants to stay in Real Madrid, he doesn't want to sit down on the bench again for quite so long time until one of these guys get injured or something like that, so he has the opportunity to play. So this is very true, and Relevo was very spot on because Bellingham, if he arrives, Kroos, Modric, and Ceballos will be wiped out from the midfield. So let's wait and see what happens, man, but that's not good news for them.